Alrighty, here we go. Hey there, everybody. It's a nasty one here again, and welcome back to the next episode of the Randomized Franchise Rebuild here in Super Mega Baseball 4, year number 1. Last episode was the winner-take-all Game 3 against the champs for the league title, and our Thumpers came out on top, winning that game 10-8, winning the series 2-1, and officially locking up year 1's league championship, as you can see by the ring there in the bottom left corner of your screen. So with that going on, with that secured and done, this randomized team of misfits has accomplished a goal I didn't think was possible at the very beginning of the year by what I saw on paper. We made some acquisitions throughout the season, namely a right fielder, not Alfaro. We just added her before the postseason, but we had to sign a right fielder because we didn't have one on the roster originally. And then moving throughout the season, we kept basically the whole core team together, and then at the end of the year made some moves to shore up a playoff roster. We added Vic Kerr and Montgomery Newton to the pitching rotation, and then we added Alfaro to replace James, who was struggling at the time, although Alfaro didn't really impress me. And then we signed Boyd, who replaced Grant Peacock and was much better than he ever was. So those 4 acquisitions really were the keys to making our playoff run a success, and it allowed us to surprise everybody and actually win the title. And then, more surprisingly enough, we won the division and was the top team in our conference. Second best team in the whole league record-wise. That's a big accomplishment for a team I didn't think could possibly do that. But now we're going to head into the offseason, and we're going to see exactly who we're going to keep around and who we're going to let go. As you can see on the right here in the valuation column, a couple of guys are getting paid a little bit more than they should be. But some are getting paid way more than they should be and a need to leave. We need to free up some cap, and we need to go ahead and build this team into a competent defending championship squad. So let's jump into it and see who we're going to be able to keep around and who we're going to let go. Let's jump into it. All right, so Montgomery Newton is retiring. He will not be coming back. So I expected the 40-year-old to retire, and he did after we paid him the big bucks. He is cashed out. He is no longer coming back to the roster. Okay. So with him out of the picture, what do we need to do? Obviously, we need to cut. We are going to need to cut Vic Kerr here from the roster. He is being overpaid majorly for what he was making. He's actually only worth 8.6 mil, and right now he's getting paid 14.6. So we need that $6 million back. I would love to re-sign Vic in the offseason if I can. But for right now, I don't think that keeping him at that price is a good idea. So we're going to release Vic. Miller, we'll just do pitching since we're down this end of the roster. Miller Bruiser, I would love to have him back. He's a nice young arm that maybe shouldn't be the ace of a pitching rotation, maybe like a number 2, because he did struggle a lot during the regular season. But I would love to have him back, and he's asking for less than what he's actually worth. So we'll re-sign him. Valor Sandoval wants to come back. He's worth about 8.1. He's making 8.5. He's 100% on board, but he is regressing. He has regressed all throughout last season. Or not all throughout last season. Hit him at the really very end of the regular season, but he is trending downwards. He's actually going to be worth less than what he is right now. So I say we cut our losses with him now. Maybe re-sign him if there isn't a good 4th option. Sorry, Fowler, but it's time to part ways. Now, Valenzuela, he only wants 6.9. I'm going to offer that. I'm going to give him that because he's actually worth 7.6. He wants less than what he's actually worth. And he's a young arm to build up in the bullpen. Yeah, that's an easy sign. Tyler Tang, we're 6.2. He only wants 5. He wants what he's making right now. Perfect. Re-sign. Sky Sosa is actually worth 7.1. She's asking for 6.4. She came in as a B-, I believe, last season. Now she's a B overall. She's a good young arm. I like working with her. I'll give her asking price. We have the money to spare. Mateo Diaz, he's worth 3.9. He's asking 5 mil, and that's going to be the make or break thing on Diaz. He pitched really well in the postseason. He was our best reliever in the postseason. He could not do anything wrong. But regular season, he struggled from time to time when he was used, and he's already 31. He's going to be 31. He's not going to get any better. He's actually going to be getting worse. So I think, and he's only worth 3.9. He's asking like a ridiculous 5 million, so I think we just let him go, cut our losses. And Testy Booper, I never planned on re-signing. He's only worth 5.5 now. He was a B plus when he originally was drafted. He's regressed all the way down to a B. He's just not good. Nah, he is not good anymore, and I don't use closers that often, so we're going to need to free up his money and spend it somewhere else. So he is leaving. All right, so we've re-signed 4 of our 8 pitching slots. We have 4 openings, 3 in the rotation, and actually 2 in the bullpen, maybe. Okay. All right, I'll take that. 5 openings in the bullpen. Or 5 openings in the pitching staff total. 3 starting slots and then 2 reliever slots. All right, moving to position players. Let's see what we can do with this team. All right, so Hazard wants 11.8. We keep her happy. We give her all the money, okay? She's the captain. She needs to come back. She earned it. And she's still asking for less than what she's worth. So keep. Kane Tambor is worth 7.3. He's asking 7.8. He's making 6.9. I'm going to roll this. It's a 91% chance to succeed, so let's do that. If he doesn't sign, then it's all right. We can always look for a younger first base option down the road. Hey, he's going to stick around, though. Smart move, Kane. Smart move. Besides, he never really plays a whole lot because Hazard is always out there eating up his playtime. So, yeah, it's not happening for him. Moreno is worth 9.2. She wants to stay at 8.6. I'll take that. Resign. Shane Cruz, the third member of the Bash Blondes, he's worth 8.6. He's asking 8.5. Staying where he is. Perfect. Resign. Carp, I had no plans on keeping Marco Carp. He's just meh. He doesn't stand out. He doesn't do anything special, and he's asking for more money than he's worth. So, yeah, no. See you later, Marco. So I need a backup catcher. Cantu, he's worth 9.3, asking 10.1. Now, Tristan hit decently well in the postseason after a rough start, but he didn't really impress me at all last season. And, yeah, his numbers are decent, all right, but, like, he's nothing special, and he's already 31. He's going to get worse, so let's let him go. Withers Oldman, he's asking 6.4. He's actually only worth 6 mil, 28 years old, but he's a nice complimentary backup shortstop, so I'm all right with keeping him on the roster. Burmagers is worth 5.6. He's only asking 4.9. Give him all the money. He's a young middle infielder that we can build up, and he'll probably start over Oldman here if he keeps developing at the pace he currently is. He's only 24 next year, so yeah. Frank Chase, I'm never going to bring back. He just didn't do anything for me last season. I mean, he hit 247. That was really bad, and he lost his playing time at the end of the year to Hokie. So yeah, and he never played in the postseason. So yeah, I'm going to let you go, Frank. Penelope Boyd, I never planned on bringing back. She was just here for the playoffs. She's already 33. I'd like to go younger in center field if I can, or younger in the outfield in general. And then Alfaro just struggled mightily in the postseason, and she is not worth $9 million. So, no. All right, so Connor wants 4 points. She doesn't want to improve her standing with the money. She wants to stay where she is, worth 4.7. I'll take that. And Hokie wants his 3.4. He's worth 3.7. He's still developable. He's young at 23. Yeah, he's going to be 24, so this is his make-or-break year for us. If he doesn't start developing fast, we'll just let him go. All right, so after all that said and done, we have released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players with a 10th player retiring. So we have 10 roster spots open, 5 in the pitching side of things, and 5 on the position player side of things. Let's jump into the offseason and fill these holes, folks. Ooh, Ivana McMaster is testing free agency from the Champs. I might be interested in signing her with how well she hit in the offseason, or in the postseason. Yeah, this is just going through everything. Any announced retirements or anything? Mackenzie Porpetta, the Champs closer, she is retired at the age of 35. Zachariah Jesse's the 40-year-old starter for the Tramplers, and also their right fielder, Finley Peterson, have both retired. And Montgomery Newton obviously retired, and we knew that already because he was on our roster. So, cool. Let's have a look at player developments. Or not player development, free agents. What everyone's tuning in for. Finding those gems. All right, we're going to do pitching staff first. So obviously there's some guys we might want to look to re-sign here. I'd like to go young. So like Chase Charles would definitely be someone I'm 100% interested in. Cat Floral, 19-year-old rookie. That would be awesome right there. Vic Kerr, I would love to bring back. He's a decent middle of the rotation arm that could actually progress up to the top end of the rotation if he keeps going. Gresham Harris, who I played against in the postseason for the Bards, he's pretty good. Gunnar Franco's an interesting one. Jamison Harrington. What else we got? Johnny Guerra. I wasn't impressed with Guerra in the regular season, so I'm going to let him stay out here in free agency. Sawyer Radical, though, would be a nice signing. Cannon Wright would be a good, interesting signing as well at 26. Piper Trampleson, I'd like to have back. She's still young. We also have Lee Bellamy and Kevin Bates as well, 21 and 19. I don't think going to like C+ or lower is a good idea, so we'll just stay at a B- or higher for now. All right, and then moving down into the pitching rotation. Now, with the loss of a closer, that opens up a chance to get a long reliever. So maybe someone like Jose Black, Celeste Pruitt, Ivor Suarez would be good at signings for us. There's also Lena Rodriguez, Boone Frown. These are for like actual relievers. Rod Henderson, Pip Mealy, or Ryan Reed. That's an interesting one right there, although surrounded's pretty scary. Elizabeth Chapman, that's a nice young arm right there. Bo Pollard, it may be a little bit too old at 27 for a B-. But hey, Diaz worked well, so we'll see. Layla Bull, ooh, good traits on her. Lefty specialist. Bento Farley is good signing right there, 21. And then I think that's it. Closers, I'm not really interested in having a closer on the roster, though there is Aon Nolan. Maybe if everyone else gets picked up, we could sign him. All right, now moving to the offensive side of things. Let's see. All right, so first things first, we need a backup catcher. So anything below a B+ would be good. So Gianni Oliver, 19-year-old rookie. We got Burton Werthers, C+, 20-year-old. That'd be a nice one to build up. Already a good fielder. I like that one. Ringo Word. There's also Alberto Donovan, who we played in the postseason from I believe he was on the Bards, if I remember correctly. There's also Banjo Crosby's a little too good. I'd like to keep Cruz as the starter, so I'm probably not going to go after him, although he's a nice free agent. And then C+, like 26-year-old or higher, that's not great, so I think we're good there. I think we'll just aim for these 4 guys. We don't need another first baseman on the roster. We're good up the middle. Maybe a backup second baseman would be nice. So maybe we turn our 5th outfielder into like a middle infielder. That'd be good. Anaya Schmidt is an interesting signing choice. There's Aitana Haley, who we saw in the regular season a bunch. Alex Bonetti. That's an interesting one right there. I like that one. What else we got? Chess Hicks. Bonetti doesn't play shortstop, though. He plays third. Ooh, we do need another third baseman. That's true. Maybe Hector Lowe. I think that would be about as low as I'm willing to go for a B-. Chess Hicks. Ooh, interesting. But I like Moreno. I'd like to have Moreno start and then maybe have the younger one take over. Davis Smacks would be a good one. Tanner McDaniel can't play anything other than second, so I'm not going to go after him. Same with Hank Anderson, who's leaving the Champs. Moving over to third base, we do need a new starter, so Bob Shelton would be an interesting young rookie signing. I like that. Alessandro Richard, he'd be a bench bat at best. Maybe a signing on the bench, possibly. Third first baseman. That'd be good. We also could use Newt Downtown. That'd be a good starter option right there. These C+ and C- and C overalls are just not doing it for me. I know Cannon Arm's good on Carr, but she has RBI 0, so she's not a good pinch hitter. Tyrone Kirk, he doesn't stand out at anything. Esto Prince has Distractor, but he can't field. Liana Stevenson, no, I'm not feeling it. And Cantu's on the bench, and Cantu's out there, yep. Okay, we don't need another shortstop. We're good there, so we're going to skip all of them. We do need a starting caliber left fielder because Lax Hokie probably shouldn't be starting. Let's be real. We got Ramon Whitehead. Harold South is a good one. Nicholas Von Wolf. Those are all good starting caliber left fielders. And then Aylin Dalton would be a good bench outfielder at a B- overall. That'd be pretty good. Same with D. Serrano. And Malachi Young. Yeah, I can do all of them. Center field, we need a new starting center fielder. I mean, Connor's all right, but I don't think she's starting caliber outfield if you're asking me. So Chris Flores would be a good signing. John Elliston. Adelmo Hightower here. Rory Harrison would be an interesting signing as well. Although she can't hit. Maybe not as a starter per se. Thomas Guzman, he can only play center. He can't really, and he has noodle arm. I'm not that impressed. Xander Kerr, easy target. Yeah, but good player all around, I think. And then I think that's it for center. I don't want to go too much older. And then right field. Do we need a right fielder? We do need a right fielder. So we have Chopper Sardi, 20-year-old, who can play all the outfield positions. We have Bingo Coffee, Sincere Rosario. Who else we got? We got Flavio Vasquez. Alfredo Pratt would be an interesting one as well. And that's it. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go through it. 5 rounds, and then we'll keep moving. So I'm not expecting any of the guys I have starred to get signed, but if they do, it happens. See a couple moves there by the Bird Lizards to start. Nothing to really dive into interestingly. Nothing like overly interesting I'm seeing. Nothing there. Alright, nothing there in round 3. Round 4, I don't think there's going to be anything here either. Nope. And then round 5. Okay, so nothing through the first 5 rounds, other than a couple moves by the Bird Lizards at the beginning. I didn't see anything worth mentioning. Alright, so what do we have for players that are left on the team? Right now we have Scholarly, Spirited, Crafty. So Tambor's the only crafty player on the roster. 2 Scholarly, 1 competitive, 2 Spirited, 2 competitive, 3 competitive, 1 disciplined, 3 spirited, 2 disciplined, 4 competitive. So we have 4 competitive players on the roster, 3 spirited players, 1 disciplined player, 1 crafty player, and I think it's 3 scholarly. 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3. That's just 2. Yeah, it's two scholarly players on the roster. So right now we need to sign at least 1 scholarly player, 2 disciplined players, and 2 crafty players at the very least to have everything in the middle number of chemistries there for medium debuffs and medium boosts. So we need to focus on making sure that requirement is met. Alright, so let's have a look at asking prices for all these players. Are any of them interested in signing now? Alright, so let's see. $3 million, 2.9, $3 million. Yeah, so they're all right now a little over what they should be making. So I don't need to make any moves just yet. At least not for some of these guys. None of the guys I have started need to be moved on just yet, I think. Yeah, they're all about 3 million above where they need to be, so we need to keep a close eye on that round to round. I say go 2 rounds and check it, and then come back. Like, these guys are about 2 million worth off what they're supposed to be making. And we have the money to spend. It's not like we're, broke and asking for money or anything. No, we have the money. And I think maybe if we do get a lot of these good outfielders, then maybe someone like Hokie is expendable because he can't play anything other than left field at 24, and he's already a C overall. He probably should be released from the roster. Now that I think about it, and maybe that'll free up a roster space for us, because Connor can be the 4th outfielder. Yeah, it looks like these pitchers are all 3 million over their price as well, from what I'm seeing. I think the only one that's not is Bo Pollard, and that's because he's older and he's worth a lot less. Yeah, so they're all about 3 million away from what they're worth. So yeah, we can go 1 or 2 rounds. long as none of them get picked up. No one in that round, and any moves in round 7? No moves in round 7 either. So let me have a quick check of this real quick. $1.6. Okay, so yeah, we can go like maybe one more round or so safely, and then we start getting into it with the next round, I think. All right, so yeah, now what's everyone at? 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 6. All right, we can keep going another round. And you know what? Let's just get through 10. Why not? I like even numbers. Let's get through 10. All right, so no roster moves have been made yet through 10 innings, or 10 rounds. So this is when I think free agents are going to start getting picked up, because this is when people should be getting where they're at. Yeah, it's like around $500,000 away is when people start getting antsy and when they start making moves. So now would be the time. If we want to risk it, one more round. Let's do it. I like gambling. Okay, so there was one signing throughout the entire league, so I think we got lucky with a lot of these guys. Let's see. Who was it? The False Knights, they chose Kason Chen. It's S-tier starter. I'm never going to spend $20 million on a pitcher. Elmo Slayer may have been an exception, but I don't plan to ever spend $20 million on a player. Unless it's Slash Trips. Slash Trips in the Salty series, I will give him all the money. Dude's hitting over 700. What do you want me to do? All right, let's have a look. So what are these guys at? 0.4 over, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Yeah, we can get risky with some of these catchers. Like, they're not overly close. Same with the position players. They're all about the same. It's just how much money do you want to spend? And I don't want to overspend too much. That's what happened in the Salty series. I ran out of money. And I know this coming off season after year 4 is going to be a tough one because I don't have enough money to go around for everybody, and I need to start making some difficult decisions. For here, though, I don't think we're going to have that problem. Like, a lot of these guys are close. I think we start making some moves. All right, let's make some moves, okay? Yeah, I think it's time. I think we start making some slings, and we see what happens. All right, so we'll start at catcher. Seems to be the going rate here. So we want a backup bench catcher. So which of these guys screams backup to me? Discipline would be nice because we need at least 2 of them to sign. Ooh, disciplined again. Okay, Rango. He can't hit, but he can field. He can throw people out. Donovan can field. He can also hit for power. He also is a good fastball hitter and a pinch hitter. They're both 25 and 26, though. Ideally, I want someone like Oliver or Werthers as the backup. Now, Oliver can't field. He's got a okay arm, but he's a good hitter. Werthers is a bad hitter. He's got good speed for a catcher, and he's a good fielder. I say we take a shot on Burton Werthers here. He's the prototypical backup player. I like him, and he's cheap, so I think we sign him. Because we all know at the end of the day, Shane Cruz is going to play a majority of the games anyway, but having a nice backup who can actually field would be key for him, especially late in games. So let's go ahead and bring in Burton Werthers. He'll be our first signing of the offseason. All right, so we made our move at catcher. Moving down to first base, we're good there. Moving to second base. Now we need a backup second baseman here behind Moreno. Now I have Majors and Oldman who both play second and short, but I need someone who can primarily play second base as well. So who do you want as a backup? Now Schmidt is already the same overall as Moreno. I believe Moreno's either a B+ or an A-, but Moreno is going to start regressing. She's 37. So eventually she will regress, and then I'll need someone to take over the starting slot from her at that time. So who do we want there ready to take over? Davis Smacks, he can't hit, so I think he's out. Hector Rowe, he's a good power bat, B-. Decent speed, decent fielder. He's got a good arm for a second baseman, but I'm not feeling it, so he's out. Benetti, decent fielder, average arm, which is fine for second base. It's not necessary. Itana Haley is already good enough to start. And then Schmidt is also borderline good enough to start as well. She would probably be eating all the playing time at second base, and Oldman and Majors would be on the bench. And we do need another disciplined player there. So I think Schmidt is over Haley for me. And it's between Schmidt and Benetti. Like, which one of them do I want to trust? I think we trust the person with the better fielding, and that is Anaya Schmidt. So we sign her here. She's 0.6 over what she should be making. Maybe we can go one more round on her, I think. I think we can risk it for her. Yeah, but if it's like less than $500,000, I'll spend that money. Now, we need a starting caliber third baseman. Now, Alessandro Richard, he's a good hitter, but that's about it. He doesn't do anything else. Newt Downtown, solid player across the board. I have no complaints with this guy. He has no traits. He's a blank slate, 21 years old. I would get behind this guy and tell him you're good enough. Bob Shelton is also good, 19-year-old rookie. He's got traits already, contact versus righties. He's a first pitch slayer. He's a better fielder than Downtown. He's got a better arm than Downtown as well. Less speed, less contact. Like, this is elite contact. You can't do much with that. But power, I don't know. I don't know. Well, Richard's out, so leave him. Bob Shelton or Newt Downtown? Who is the better player? I think Newt Downtown is the more complete player with chances to add traits down the road, and he'd be a good addition to the lineup right now. Shelton is also a good addition to the lineup right now, and he has traits already, and he will develop as well. I think it's close, but I'm going to take the more complete player, and I'm going to go ahead. Do I want to play $11 million for him, though? Not really. I think we'll take Shelton. We'll take the cheaper option. I could risk it for them again as well, but I don't want to. They're the only two starting caliber third baseman out here that I would want to sign for as young as they are. So I think, you know what, we'll risk it. One more round on them as well. All right, moving to left field, we do need a starting caliber left fielder. We have Ramon Whitehead. I think Zhang is not a good starting caliber left fielder, so he's out. Serrano's not a starting caliber outfielder. He can't field either. Same with Dalton. So we have Harold South, who's 25. Play all the outfield positions. Scholarly. We have a lot of scholarly players on the roster already. Spirited, we have that. And Von Wolf has noodle arm, which kind of negates his ability to throw the ball. Ramon Whitehead has base jogger, but that's all right. You know, I can work around base jogger. Good power, good contact. He's a good complete hitter. I like that. 23, he'll develop. I think he beats out South and Von Wolf here. I think we sign Ramon Whitehead in this situation. I will sign him to be our new starting left fielder. Okay, next up. Then be center field and right field. Okay, so we need a starting center fielder. So we have Xander Kerr, 28, easy target, but, you know, good offensive player, decent fielder too. Not a lot of arm on him. 28, though. Hightower, 21, developable. B+ overall already. Has stealer already. Good speed on her. Decent fielder. Could be better in that category. Okay. Elliston, crafty. We do need crafty players on the roster. Average hitter. Great speed, though. First pitch slayer. He has base jogger. Chris Flores doesn't have any traits. Young 19-year-old. He's good to go. He's a power bat out of the gate. He's a great fielder. I think we make a splash here. I think we go and get Flores. I think that's a smart move here. Let's go get him. Let's bring this guy in. All right, now right fielders. All right, so we have Chopper Sardi. He's 20, B+ overall. He can hit for contact and throw. That's about it. Bingo Coffee can do everything except field, and he has magic hands. Nice. Rosario can't field, can do everything else for the most part. Vasquez, the average fielder, average power, good contact, good speed, great arm. Pratt, he has good traits. Great hitter, but can't field. Okay. All right, I think Rosario's out. Coffee I like. Sardi is out. Vasquez is cheapish. I like that. 26 already. Decent fielder, good contact, good speed. We do need crafty players on the roster too. Anything we add for that would be a net gain at this point. I think we go ahead and sign maybe Pratt. Nah, Pratt can't field. I'm taking him out. So we got Coffee, who can't field, or Vasquez, who's a slightly better fielder. They have the same arm. Coffee, they have the same speed. Coffee has better contact hitting and better power. So Coffee's the better hitter. He's also younger. Vasquez is a blank slate with no traits at 26. You know what, let's go for it. I say we go and get Coffee here. So we sign Coffee. We'll get rid of Hokie here, unfortunately. I like Hokie, but he's just too low overall at 24 years old already. So we need to move on from him, and we're going to sign an infielder to replace Frank Chase's slot on the roster. So Hokie's going. We're going to bring in Coffee. And then moving to pitching. Let's see. So we got 12-7. Kevin Bates is a 6-1. B overall here for Sawyer Radical. He's disciplined too. I like that. We do need one more disciplined person on the roster, I think. Gresham Harris is a solid overall starter. I'd love to have him. Steal him from a division rival as well, because he was on the Bards. Chase Charles, man, that velo is amazing, but he has no accuracy. Oh, what did I do? All right, here we go. And Harrington's a good pitcher as well. Like, there's no slouches in here. This is legitimately hard to choose between. Elite Forkball would be good. 5-pitch pitcher, I like that. I like Sawyer Radical. I think I'm going to sign Radical as like maybe a 3 or 4. We'll definitely sign maybe Harrington or Harris. I definitely want to sign Harris. So I think he'll be in the roster as well. And then it'll be up to be determined. Do I like Vic Kerr enough to bring him back? I don't think so. I just don't see it, you know. Rally Stopper's a great trait and all, but I don't see it, you know. I'm just not seeing it. I don't like Cannon Wright. He is surrounded, so he's out. Falls behind's not horrible. Choker is, I'm sorry, Trampleson. Choker's just too bad for me. What else we got? Walk Prone and K Collector. I'm not a big fan of Bellamy, so take him off. Walk Prone, yeah, Bates is out. Floral's decent. I feel like Sawyer Radical for his youth. He's definitely developable for like a back end of the pitching rotation kind of arm, so I say sign him. Bring him on to replace Montgomery Newton slot. Then maybe someone like Harris. I like Harris. I definitely want to sign him. He's got a good pitch mix. So I want to sign Harris here. All right, and then we need to sign one more starter, right? Chase Charles, I'm not a big fan on, so we'll drop him. Gunnar Franco, yes, falls behind. Nah, I'm going to leave him. Vic Kerr is asking for what he should be making, so maybe we do bring Vic back. It's between him and Harrington for me. Floral's just too much money. I think we need to cut back on money somewhere, and I think here at the fourth starter is, so we'll do Vic Kerr. So we'll bring Vic back. He'll just replace Sandoval's slot here at the back end of the rotation. And just like that, we have a really good starting pitching rotation, so yay. Now we move to rotate relievers. What do we got here? Boone Frownsworth, 8 mil. Elizabeth Chapman, that'd be an interesting signing. We only need one reliever, maybe one long reliever too. All right, we'll go one more round on the rest of these guys. We made a lot of signings that round, so let's see. Juliet Hoover's picked up by the Nocturnals. Vanessa Underhanded released by the Leatherwings for Drill Garrison as they get one of the older starters. Newt Downtown got picked up by the Toucans. That is sad. I really wanted Downtown. I probably should have gone for him. Rich Fitzpatrick got signed by the False Knights. There goes Banjo Crosby, one of the catchers I didn't choose. Cat Floor got picked up by the Riddles. J.C. Moon got picked up by the Toucans, the shortstop. Reese Guns got picked up by the Below Zeros. Okay, well, third base, they just made our decision for us. Yeah, so third base, they made our decision for us on that move, so we have to pick up Bob Shelton. He's the only starting caliber third baseman left that I like, so this is going to be an easy signing for us. He'll come in and replace Cantu. And then what else we got? We still have the backup second baseman, I believe. So we still have between Anaya Schmidt and Alex Benetti. Between both of them, I like both of them for different reasons. Obviously, they're both young. That's one of the common reasons. Schmidt is already ready to go as a starter and would be ready to take over for Moreno if she does regress early in the season. So that would be nice to have on hand. But at the same time, Benetti is also young, and he could take over as well one day. And that would give me more time to have Moreno in the lineup, considering how much of a fan favorite she is. At the same time, though, I think we can afford, we do need to consider also money-wise, we need to save some money here somewhere. I'm in a tough spot here. I'm already done with outfields. That's literally the only offensive slot we have left on the roster we need to sign. Are there any other third basemen who can play first base besides Cantu? None other, like, well, Bland Grips could, but Bland Grips wouldn't be a bad bench player, actually, now that I look at him. He's pretty good. Not going to lie. We could use the extra depth at third, because I think we only have one third baseman on the roster. Yeah, I mean, Moreno can play third, but it's a backup position. She's not a great fielder to begin with, so. And we have Oldman and Majors who can cover that extra gap at second, so. Yeah, I think maybe we use this slot here for Chase and we go get a third baseman instead of a second baseman. I was planning on getting either Benetti or Schmidt, but looking at our lack of depth at third base, I think the smart move here is getting Bland Grips instead. So let's go ahead and bring him in. He's a lot cheaper too as well, so that's a nice save. We only have 2 pitching slots left on the roster to be filled here. So yeah, unfortunately, as much as I would love to have Schmidt or Benetti, I think we need to play smart and get some more depth at third base, because it seemed that was what we were lacking last year when Cantu struggled. We didn't have a third baseman. So pitching, we have one. We just need to make some reliever choices. That's all. No one got picked up, so it's just who do I want to spend money on, you know? Henderson has some pretty shitty traits. We still need a crafty player on the roster. If anyone's crafty, that's an automatic win. Oh, Ryan Reed, you are crafty. I like that. I think you'd be a good addition, but Surrounded holds me back on that one. Chapman is spirited. I like Chapman. Only a 3-pitch reliever, though. That's a little worrying. Frown is walk prone. I'm not here for all that, so he's out. Jose Black. Yeah, he's decent. Ivor Suarez. That's a nice signing right there. I'd like that. Okay, okay. Celeste Pruitt would be good as well. I'm not opposed to that one. So there's one crafty person, which is Orion Reed. So I think we're going to have to sign him and just work with his trait. I mean, there is Box Bruce. We could sign him as crafty, but I don't think that's a smart move if you're asking me. So I think Henderson's out. His traits are just too negative. I think Bull and Pollard are out. They're too old. Nolan, I'm not looking to have another closer, so he's out. Yes, I think Orion Reed is a good signing here for us, so I think he can replace Booper. 10 million left. We have one slot to fill. That puts us at Crafty. Okay, Crafty's good to go. So we have our choices for relievers. Alright, so for relievers, do we want a long reliever? I think we really could use a long reliever. We didn't have a lot of length in the bullpen last year, so I think Farley's definitely out. Rodriguez, although as good, is out. I also think Chapman, despite being young, is going to be out as well. Same with Mealy. So this comes down to which do I like more, long relief-wise? Who do I like better? That's the question. Do I like Pruitt? Do I like Black? Or do I like Suarez? Now, if we sign, I think we need to sign Pruitt here, and I just thought about this. I believe Diaz is if I remember correctly, he is a scholarly player, and if we don't sign him, a replacement that's scholarly, we're going to go down to 2 scholarly players, and we have 5 traits on there that could be affected by that. So I think the smart move here is signing Pruitt, although I don't think she's my favorite of these 3. She actually would be. She actually is. So, never mind. I'll just shut up and take what I'm given here. This is the smart play. All right, and just like that, we spent over $90 million on a roster. We have $2.4 million left in the budget, carrying over $8.5 million from last year, so we need to be a little bit more selective with our trait pickups. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with what I did with the roster. Like, that's a very good roster. Look at that. We're power hitters now. And we're pretty good across the board. We're above average in every single category. We are a good team now, legitimately on paper. Now the only question is, can this team win again? We're going to need to sim to the regular season to find out. But yeah, 13 rounds is all it took to sign all those players. Like in this game compared to SMB 3, the CPU is more aggressive in this one, and they move on players faster than they did in the other game. So I think you need to be aggressive in free agency, and if you pay a little over everybody, you're okay. Because roster's going to fill up very quickly before you know it, and then no one's going to get cut that you like at the very end of free agency, so you're kind of stuck. But yeah, I'm happy with what we managed to do here. I'll run it down for you guys real quick. I'm just going to scroll up here and get all the way to the top of this list because we already know what moves we made in here. I just want to see if anyone interesting was released or anything. There we go. Okay. Any young free agents that got left out to dry? A lot of young overall guys. I think Term Butterman is the only one that's interesting, noteworthy there. B overall backup outfielders, pretty good. But yeah, no, other than that, I don't see any young players that are good. There's a couple older guys like Booper's still out here, Alfaro is still out here. They were on the team last year. Anyone else from our roster still out here in free agency? I don't think there are. Jimmy Dropkin's out here. Poor Jimmy. Penelope Boyd is still out here, so that's 3. Grant Peacock from last year's squad is still a free agent as well. Mateo Diaz, that's 5. Marco Carp is still out here, so is Veranda James. That's 6 and 7 right there. Lax Hokie, that's 8. That's it. So 8 of our former players are still free agents going into the next season. That's not a good indicator for them, I'm assuming. So our first game this year is going to be against the Tramplers, so I think we'll play that one, and then obviously the Bird Lizards after that. But yeah, of course we have to play opening day. It's our first day as new members of defending champions, so yeah, we definitely want to play this game just to, hang the banner and such, especially I think we're the home team as well. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. I like it. Not bad at all. Alrighty. Alright, so the Bards and Bird Lizards both win their first games of the year, while the Toucans lost, I'm assuming, to the Bards. So, 2 teams 1-0, 1 team 0-1 in our division. Our first matchup against the Tramplers, who have become one of the worst teams on paper. Oh my god, I've never seen a team this bad. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, Tramplers. But pitching matchup for opening day, Cannon Wright versus Miller Bruiser. Lineup we'll be using for this opening day game. Leading off will be rookie third baseman Bob Shelton, batting second. New addition right fielder Bingo Coffee. Batting third, first baseman Ariadne Hazard. Batting fourth, second baseman Aviana Moreno. Batting fifth, catcher Shane Cruz, as the Bash Blondes will bat 3, 4, and 5. Batting sixth, new addition left fielder Ramon Whitehead. Batting seventh, new addition center fielder rookie Chris Flores. Batting eighth is shortstop Withers Oldman. And batting ninth is the pitcher Miller Bruiser. So let's break it down for you guys. How did the offseason go? We re-signed a majority of the roster. We had 10 openings that we ended up having after re-signings. And then we went on and made a couple roster moves. We brought in rookie 20-year-old catcher Burton Werthers. He's going to be a backup here to Shane Cruz, who returns. Hazard and Tambor both return over at first base. Moreno returns as the second baseman. Go out and sign rookie third baseman Bob Shelton. The 19-year-old is going to be replacing Tristan Cantu. We also bring in a backup corner infielder to play with Tambor as well. Second-year player Bland Grips. He was from the Furry Flyers last season. 25-year-old will be there to add some depth at third, which we didn't have last year. Oldman and Majors both return at shortstop. Ramon Whitehead is picked up from the Riddles in the free agent pool. He'll be the new starting left fielder, 23-year-old. Then we bring in center fielder Chris Flores, rookie 19-year-old. He's going to be taking over duties as the captain of the outfield. Nia Connor returns from last year's club. She's going to be a backup outfielder. Bingo Coffee is the new addition in right field. He'll replace Alfaro. He is a rookie. Okay, that's interesting. Nice, solid rookie. I like the look of him. Miller Bruiser returns. He's the only starter that returns from last year's team. Vic Kerr returns from last year's playoff roster. He wasn't on the actual roster to begin the season. He's from the Champs, ironically. We signed him, picked him away from the Champs, and made him a champion. Nice. Gresham Harris, we picked up from our rivals, the False... Oh, he was on the False Knights? I thought he was on the Bards. Well, a playoff rival from last year's squad, so we took him from their rotation. He'll be our new number 3. Our new number 4 is second-year pitcher Sawyer Radical. He was on the Trackers last year, another playoff team. Not bad. And then in the bullpen, we bring in long reliever Celeste Pruitt. She's a 22-year-old rookie. She'll add some length in our bullpen that we didn't have last year's. We didn't have a single long reliever in the roster. Declan Valenzuela returns from last year's club, as well as Tyler Tang and Sky Sosa. And then we bring in new addition Orion Reed, who is a rookie as well. He'll be the 5th man in the bullpen. So we're a really good team on paper. We're power hitters now. We're really good in every category. So can this team do what it did in year 1 and run it back as a champion? Tune in the next episode to find out, as it'll be the opening day matchup against the Tramplers. If you made it this deep in the video, guys, thanks so much for sticking around. I appreciate the support as always. If you haven't already, hit the follow and or subscribe buttons down below here on Twitch to be notified next time I go live. If you haven't already over on YouTube, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Link to Twitch will be down in the description below if you guys want to come over and watch the games live before they're posted, and also follow me over on this platform as well if you so choose. I'll catch you on the next episode, everybody. Until then, this is a Nasty One, signing off. Have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon, wherever you guys may be.